2, 3, in the place to be.
I like to introduce myself. My name is
And it goes a little something like this.
Going way back to the early days.
Way back in the days when hip-hop began.
For all the pioneers, I'm going way back.
Love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when.
Listen to this, just listen to this, just listen to this, just listen to this.
Hello. Sabine the Bee. And you are listening to the Pioneers Show.
This is Style from the Gutter Snipe. Real beats plus real rhymes equals the Pioneers Hip Hop Show with my man Whirlwind D on Kane FM.
Whirlwind D on Kane FM.
Yo, this is Phil Most Chill, still out to kill. And you are listening to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show, presented by Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Get busy, get lost.
Now we are ready if you are ready.
Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody just clap your hands. Fly girls, clap your hands. Fly guys, clap your hands.
Well, if you're feeling alright and you think you're on,
Somebody let me know.
Well, everybody in the place put a whistle in your face. Scream it out and say, yo, hit it.
You don't stop, or rock the rhythm that makes your finger pop. I said hip hop, but thanks a lot. Come on, everybody, give me what you got.
I'm gonna tell you a little story about the Sugarhill gang
With the pound pound boogie and a big bang bang.
And if you wanna rap to the Sugarhill beat,
Gotta rap in the key of R.A.P. Now that is over, I'm ready to jam. Want all you people to clap your hands. Tonight we're gonna scream and shout. We're gonna turn this mother sucker out. To all of you people that are ready to jam, scream it out and say, I am somebody. Now you know you're hot.
see, I met this girl and I said to her, honey, if you wanna be my baby, you got to give me money. Turned around, didn't mean no harm. I knocked her out with my vicious charm. I said, no, baby, it's not like that. You see, I'm all about making that cold cash. Started driving around, started messing with her head. And next thing I know, she wanted to go to. But to turn me on, you got to be the best. Cause I'm the master G, I don't take no mess. Like TNT, I'm dynamite. You see, I rock your body to the early light. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll see I'm gonna check it out, girl. You're all alone, cause you just been hit by the Capricorn King. I rocked you gentle, I rocked you mean, I rocked you in and I rocked you out. You made me scream, but I made you shout. Go dang diddy dang diddy dang diddy dang diggy diggy dang diddy dang diddy dang diddy dang diggy diggy.
See, it's up my back, it's around my neck. Woo-ha! Got the molding check. See, it's up my back, it's around my neck. Woo-ha! Got the molding check.
Let's scream, let's shout, let's turn this function out. Keep it on, but you don't rush. Let's make this party the real cold crush. Let's scream, let's shout, let's turn this function out. Keep it on, but you don't quit. Let's make this party the shore. Once upon a time, not long ago, everybody had on their radio. And then the fella came on with a groovy noise to put the wiggle in the women and girls and boys. The word got around about three cool cats who put the foot back in the pat. And let me tell you, party people, just who we be. With the help of Big Bank and the Master G. So get up,
throw down,
we're funk, we're bound. Hey, the Sugarhill gang is in your town.
The baby doll.
And all you daddy-ohs,
You better get ready to move your toes.
so get up.
throw down.
We're funk, we're bound. Hey, the Sugarhill gang is in your town.
The baby doll.
And all you daddy-ohs,
Scream it out and say, yo, hit it, shake it, but don't break it, cause I know we can make it. And if you're ready to party and you're dressed to kill, somebody say, Sugarhill, 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 Sugarhill. And let your worries take a chill pill. You go, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, what's going on, party people? It's your boy Mikey D of the LA Posse and Main Source, and now I represent elements of hip-hop. So right now you're tuned in to the Pioneers Hip-Hop Show with my man DJ Whirlwind D right here on Kane 103.7 FM. Come on, y'all, keep it locked, man. This is where real hip-hop lives.
welcome. The Pioneers Hip Hop Show, Kane FM, Whirlwind D in the place to be. Massive shout out, of course, to my man Disorder for the last 2 hours of Dub Chronicles goodness, always wrecking the shop and always essential listening. So for the next 2 hours, it's the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane 103.7 FM. If you are new to the show, each month we focus on an aspect of hip hop history. We share the stories and the tales, as well as playing those essential records of the time. Now, last month we looked at the early years of the Bristol hip-hop scene, and we traced the stories of such luminaries such as Smith and Mighty, Massive Attack, Kells, Roller Rock, labels like Hombre Records, to name a few. And of course, previously we focused on a whole smorgasbord of areas of hip-hop from West Coast USA hip-hop, hip-hop's development in Nottingham, Boston, Harlem, labels like Def Jam and Cold Sweat, and so much more. And of course, you can catch those previous shows on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel, as well as on the Kane FM Mixcloud. So make sure you do, and a big shout out to everyone who has, and a huge thank you, of course. So you may have guessed from our first cuts of the classic Eighth Wonder by the Sugarhill gang that tonight we venture into New Jersey, an area sandwiched between New York City and Philly, and not surprisingly an area that had a huge impact on hip-hop. Now, whilst we'll look at a number of areas such as Newark, aka Brick City, and Plainfield, East Orange, and many more, we will cast a particularly large light and focus on hip-hop in Trenton. It's also worth adding that this show will focus on the 80s, and so of course legendary artists such as Redman and the Fugees will only be referenced, but we might look at them in more detail in a 1990s New Jersey special. So like I say, we started proceedings with the Sugarhill gang because although it took a while for New Jersey to develop its own scene outside of New York City central hub, hip-hop's first mega label, Sylvia Robinson's Sugarhill, was of course based in Englewood, New Jersey. And therefore New Jersey had its place in hip-hop folklore right at the moment that hip-hop made its debut on vinyl. And of course that first track was Eighth Wonder by the Sugarhill gang from 1981. More about Sylvia Robinson later in the show, because she comes up later on with some really interesting history too. So like many areas just outside hip-hop's crucible, vinyl releases took a while to come. However, New Jersey had a healthy graph and b-boy scene in the early 80s. And although, as usual, we're going to focus on the music, it's worth doffing our caps to legendary graph artists such as the Artifacts from Brick City, who, of course, from what I've just said, were originally a graph crew known as the Boom Squad, or at least Elder Sensei and Tame One were. They would, of course, turn to the music side of things in the early 90s via Lord Jamar of Brand Nubium, and initially they went by the name That's Them, which was, of course, the name of their sophomore album. Anyway, let's get into the 80s, and it's time to begin that musical journey with one of New Jersey's earliest MCs, Lady Crush.
The facts of life. I know you've been hustling all your life, but let me tell you about the facts of life. You're working hard from 9 to 5, trying to make that dollar to stay alive. You can't even go out after dark because you might get robbed in Central Park. The facts of life is what I'm talking about now. Come on, everybody, and check this out. The facts of life. The facts of life. Now what's this? Facts of life. Hit it. The facts of life is what I'm talking about now. Come on, baby D, and help me out.
This is my story, but it's not nice. What I'm talking about is sugar and spice. It's sugar and spice. they may call it game. I'm talking about a guy and how he got that way. He started to rob and got sent to prison. That's what he chose. It was his decision. Life is tough in those prison cells, and on top of that, there are no females.
Facts of life. The facts of life. Now bust the move. Dated all kinds of girls and you couldn't learn till you finally wound up getting burned. Called your doctor to set a time, then you wound up in the clinic line. You opened the door and then you walked in. To your surprise, you saw all your friends. The facts of life is what I'm talking about now. Come on, everybody, and check this out. The facts of life. The facts of life. And now break. Life is just too much. Now here's a fresh rap from Lady Crush.
Facts of life bring for perpetrators, telling all lies, accent translators, false addresses, non-birthplaces. Everyone's perfect in almost cases. I'm from here, I'm from there. What they should know, everyone doesn't care. But when the hidden truth comes around, all of your friends will be putting you down.
Facts of life. Life. Yeah.
103.7 Kane FM.
To be, and I don't want no MCs perpetrating me. You got on the mic, fuss around what's happening, but what you need is a tutor in a rapping. But I gotta end it to you. You tried your best. Next time, don't perpetrate Ducky Fresh.
the mic and shut your mouth. Has begun to steal the show. Now I'm the prime example of the super swag rapper. I'm a fresh female who's really dapper. DJ Jazz, cut it.
Kane 103.7 FM.
With the deal, y'all, this is Oxygen representing Vinyl Veterans. And if I ain't out digging in the crates, I'm listening to the Pioneers of Hip Hop show with my man Whirlwind D on Kane 103.7 FM. The realness, y'all.
Kane FM 103.7, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show in full effect. And if you've just joined us, tonight it's all about tracing New Jersey hip hop history through the 1980s. And it's worth me giving a couple of health warnings, as I always do. First thing to say is the Pioneers Hip Hop Show very much covers the music. Now, of course, hip hop as an umbrella is much, much bigger than just the music. We do talk a little bit about graph and a little bit about the b-boying scene and other facets of hip-hop, but the main focus is the music. The second health warning to put in place is that the music we play and the stories we tell are not an exhaustive list. We pick out some of the key moments and key artists from New Jersey, but there is so much more. And in a 2-hour show, it's impossible to cover it all. So we doff our caps and show our respect to all the New Jersey pioneers. So let's get back to the story. Now, the first record you heard was by Sugar Scoop artist Tim Greene and featured one of the earliest New Jersey MCs to hit wax. That, of course, was the brilliant Lady Crush. Now, the record was a big hip-hop hit at the time, and Lady Crush won a radio contest to appear on this particular record with Tim Greene. Now, Greene would go on to have commercial success in the mid to late 80s before embarking on a career in film, whilst Lady Crush, who was from Camden, New Jersey, is still actually making music of a fairly provocative nature to this very day. Now, the record Facts of Life offered Lady Crush the platform for her solo release, which came a year later, and that was a track we played next, which is the uber collectible and very dope MC Perpetrators on Executive Cam Records. And that was alongside Philly's DJ Jazz. You'll see later on in the show there are a lot of links between Philly and New Jersey, not surprising because they bordered each other. Of course, DJ Jazz worked with Robbie B, he was part of 2 Brown, and much, much more. Now, in many ways, that record, MC Perpetrators, was a part 2 to Facts of Life with a much harder edge, and it actually even featured Tim Greene, so it was kind of like a payback for Facts of Life. She would then leave the scene for about 20 years or so before returning with new material in the early O's. Now, neither of these records, Facts of Life or MC Perpetrators, were on New Jersey labels. In fact, during the mid-80s, they were few and far between. However, that was about to change. Now, the next track we played was, of course, a monumental record at the time, and it was the Mighty King Cut. Now, DJ Cheese, the artist in question, along with his crew Word of Mouth, grew up in Edison, New Jersey, and by the early 80s was DJing at parties in places like Plainfield and Elizabeth, and was hanging out with the likes of Big Daddy Kane, Biz and TJ Swan before they were part of the Juice Crew. In fact, legend has it that Biz actually asked DJ Cheese to be his DJ when he signed with Marley Marl and the Juice Crew. Craziness. That said, his debut on the late great Duke Booty's label, King Cut, was a massive, massive hit, and it propelled DJ Cheese to fame. Not only that, Cheese was the first non-New York City DJ to win a New Music Seminar DJ title, and of course he went so much further. Up next, more DJ Cheese, courtesy of his crew, Word of Mouth.
Kane FM.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
Attracted to red and white because we're live, we can never be dead on the mic. And
It is nice. So whether that cuerpo, there isn't no joking. If you're asleep, I creep and bust your body wide open.
Rockin' hard from the head to the toe, plus the middle part. So get ready to rock hardcore to the body.
Yo, what's up? This is Chrome representing the All C&I, No Half Stepping Records, and you're checking out my man Whirlwind D on the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane FM. Keep it locked.
Yo, D, I was just messing with this beat in the lab, and I thought, you know what? Let me just pass him this beat, rock 32 bars straight, and we're gone. What are you saying?
Kane FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show, and tonight is all about 1980s New Jersey hip hop. Now, we hiked the set with Coast to Coast by Word of Mouth from Elizabeth, New Jersey, of course featuring the mighty DJ Cheese. Now, by this time, DJ Cheese had signed to Profile Records, and of course, Coast to Coast came out on Profile Records. He'd also provided cuts on a slew of releases from artists such as K-Rob and the Z3 MCs. Now, in 1986, he would become the DMC World DJ Champion, cementing his reputation as one of the great DJs, without a doubt. Now, by the mid-80s, New Jersey was releasing an ever-increasing amount of brilliant records, and many, as I touched on earlier, were in conjunction with Philly-based artists just over the border. Now, one such release was the debut by the Crown Rulers, and the track we played, Kick the Ball, appeared alongside another track, B-Boy Document, on their shared album with Philly's Mighty Tough Crew. Of course, that was called the Fan Jam album, which actually stood for Philadelphia and New Jersey All-Star MCs. Now, with production from Said G, this was, for me anyway, the standout track on the album. The final track we played was another from Duke Booty's Beauty and the Beat record label. This one was by the Point Blank MCs. Now, Point Blank, not of course to be confused with the UK crew, Point Blank MCs, were a teenage crew from Elizabeth, New Jersey, led by MC Shamrock. They were originally known as First Class, and when the crew signed with Duke Booty, they changed their name to Point Blank MCs. Now, like other crews on the label, they were paid for shows but not the records they released, and they would go on to release two 12-inch singles, but this, their debut, Hard to the Body, for me anyway, was their most essential release. I love that Mike Allen shout in the end, and in fact Mike Allen is etched on the Run Out groove as well. Just shows the impact he was having here over in the UK. Okay, we're going to move on with the story. We find ourselves moving into the mid to late 80s, and we're going to move to one of the hotbeds of talent in New Jersey. That was Trenton.
Volcanic eruptions, controversial new words conforms the discussion. Musical weapons, bass, treble, and percussion be a measure on a scale of worldwide destruction. Explosive matter, my subject is you. Reiterate the last sentence and destroy your whole crew. I get upset. My blood temperature boils, my vocal shall extend. For breath my lungs recoil. Lingering lyrics linger no longer. As food is energy, I eat you up and grow stronger. Resist, I must persist. My rhyme I will describe as immeasurable pain that should never subside. I'm terrifying. I'm terrifying. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm terrifying. I'm terrifying. Diversified diversions, divert and diverse. Explain the lyrics that I use and I never rehearse. The craniologist, creating rhyme for the brain, which infiltrates your nerves like a tube of cocaine. A dialectologist, the frequent words I converse, usually spoken by me in harmony or in verse. You'll have to battle me. I issue my first warning. If the rhyme was rain, then it be storming. The rhymes with faction, the crowd goes insane. To rise up at once, a barrier remains. I'm terrifying, 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 terrifying. I'm terrifying. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm terrifying. I'm terrifying. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm terrifying. The angel of mercy, depth the creature all defines. You're my enemy. The beat is my alliance. The lyrics that I use, larger suckers must abide. Illicit and explicit word in form of cyanide injected through the ear. Your hearing is impaired, not seeping in your blood cells. For death you've been prepared, so lethal. The brain cells are frozen. You got the for air, no words are spoken. Nerves being torn, cranium displaced. Your life hangs in the balance while I laugh in your face. I'm terrifying, the terrific terrorist in your midst. Assassinator, and your name is at the top of my list. The last verse finale, the rappers are seen awake in a cold sweat from a nightmare's dream of me shooting down rappers. Yes, I'm terrifying. My thirst for the killer from seeds is undying. Not a man who can match or a match for a man. Think about that last verse and try to understand that I pull a pressure valve to release my anger. Think of lyrics faster than a bullet fired from a chamber of a gun. When the lyrics burn hot, feel like a Marxist, take my aim and shoot my best shot. Gino G the terrifying, only second to the devil. You dug your own grave, you might get your shovel, be easy. I give you your last choice, so you can die for suicide. I choke and die for my voice, I'm terrifying.
You're listening to the sounds of Kane 103.7 FM.
Girlies on my tip and homeboys can't hack it. Getting all mad, screaming out YZ. I'm gonna kill your ass if you ever in front of me. Suckers, what you mean? I'ma kill YZ. I'm the baddest MC I was born to be. Ladies scream when I rock, all suckers in shock. You could even rap forever and I'm still on top. I got my skill and my talent with me all the way. With G-Rock and Tink and we form a trade. But Tink is who he is and so is G. And I am who I am, yo, my name is YZ. I am who I am and that's a fact. I couldn't be somebody else, I wasn't born to act. I wear what I want, walk how I walk, eat what I want and talk how I talk.
Listen to my story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food and up through the ground come a bubbling crude.
Me and Z dress alike and we wear death denim. Suckers try to bite but we look better in them. Perpetrating death but we are who we are. YZ is the king and I'm the G-Chief star. I can rock a party cause I am who I am. I'm the son of Mr. Rita, not the son of Sam. Me and Z are cold coolin', microphone ruling. Shake my butt and all the girls start drooling. I know you're real happy just to see two deaths. Cause we're fresh, shipping and stepping, yo, just give it a rest. We're coming on stage and we're rocking the spot. YZ is who he is and I'm the gangster rock. I am who I am and that's a fact. I couldn't be somebody else, I wasn't born to act. Ladies on my back, but I will not stop. Not a machine, but I'm human and I will not halt.
Listen to my story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food and up through the ground come a bubbling crude.
It doesn't really matter what you say to me. I was born to be bad and I will not flee. With my man G-Rock, that's gangster rock. Two step together and we will not stop. We drop all suckers who purple. to me, talking about who are you? I said my name, you know already. What you wanna do? He said, if you wanna battle or you wanna fight,
G's ready.
I'll be on you for the rest of the night. I pulled out the 44. He ran to the door. He was cooling with the girl, but the girl was a whore. I put up the loaded weapon and I held the steel, but I didn't make a shot cause it was the kill. And it's not right to kill a sucker cause he wants to rap. Just kill him with the rhyme and he will step back. Some suckers perpetrating like the son of Sam, but my name is G-Rock and I am who I am.
We are too deaf and we came here tonight to celebrate and rap until the daylight. We're never wrong, and when we are, we're still right. Don't bite the style, cause suckers we can fight. We're living just enough for the city.
Kane FM.
Hey yo, this is Phil Most Chill, still out to kill, and you are listening to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show presented by Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Get busy or get lost.
Kane FM 103.7, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show. If you've just joined us tonight, we are tracing the history of hip hop music in New Jersey through the 80s, and we find ourselves in the mid to late 80s. A couple of tracks from Trenton and one from elsewhere, but more about that in just a moment. Let me remind you, we do also feature brand new music on the show, and it's always at the end section of the show once we've told our story. We've got some absolute heat coming up this evening. Later on, we've got my man Crease and his brand new single featuring Chrome and Specifik, Anything You Want, which is out now on Beeline Recordings. Head over to hiphopbebop.com to grab your copy. It's a killer, trust me. We've also got the sounds of Lewis Parker taken from his brand new album, which, as you would imagine, is absolutely brilliant. Available at the moment digital only, but I believe there is a vinyl release on King Underground in the offing. We've also got some Kashmere coming up later, one of the finest MCs this country has produced, no doubt. And also my man MC Oliver Twist, who is making serious moves at the moment. Got a track that he's done with Franky Raw alongside my man Specifik. So lots and lots of brand new music coming up later on in the show. Keep it locked to Kane FM 103.7 for more New Jersey flavour and, of course, all that brand new music. So like I say, we find ourselves in the mid to late 80s, and the scene itself was relatively quiet in terms of record labels. However, there were lots of artists starting to come out, as evidenced by the music we've just been playing. Now, a chance meeting between Trenton artists Cool Gino G and Tony D via Vandy C of Bill Blast fame with Tom Silverman over at Tommy Boy secured the duo a deal with that New York label. It was in fact the Tommy Boy offshoot Body Rock, and the record, you just heard it a moment ago, was called I'm Terrifying, one of a number of tracks on that Body Rock EP that came out in 1987. And in many ways this was significant because it would be the catalyst for a proliferation of labels on the New Jersey scene to start to build. And many of those, of course, because these were Trenton artists, were centered around Trenton, but not exclusively, as you will see, because actually things were popping off all over New Jersey at the time. Now, like I say, the track you heard a moment ago was I'm Terrifying, and that was taken from that 12-inch single. And interestingly, in his early days, Tony D was known as Grand Poobah Tony D, but very gentlemanly so dropped the prefix when he heard the Masters of Ceremony's own Grand Poobah. And interesting to note, because earlier on we played a track by the Crown Rulers which featured another Grand Poobah, so it was I guess a term being used a little bit like Grandmaster at the time. Now the next Tony D production would see him team up with future NJ superstar YZ under the name Too Deaf and on a New Jersey label called Rockin' Hard. Now the label would release 3 records in its short-lived life, including one by the future Rhyme Syndicate member Donald D before its demise. Now more about Trenton later on in the show, but that track we played, it was the second we played in that volley of cuts, was called I Am Who I Am by Too Deaf, featured Gangsta Rock, YZ and Tony D, and that came out in 1987. We now move to a different part of New Jersey and Patterson and the mighty King Son. Now he made his debut in 1987 alongside D. Mowat with the single Hey Love, and the track we played was Mythological Rapper, which was the flip side. Both of those tracks were killers in my opinion. The track Hey Love saw some Billboard chart success for the duo in the States, and it actually secured King's Son a deal with Profile Records. Now King's Son was originally part of New Jersey's supercrew Hollywood Impact alongside King Shamik and the rest of the future Twin Hype crew amongst others. For me though, his dopest release has to be that EP Strictly Ghetto that he dropped on Cold Chillin' in the mid-90s. Absolutely fierce EP and well worth picking up. Got that famous Ice Cube diss on there as well. So we find ourselves moving into the late 80s, and next we're going to move to another collective, a collective you know well, known as the Flavor Unit.
Yo, look, you're in my way. I'm telling you to back up. You think this is a game, so I'll commence to rack up points like a pro that I know that I am. Wait on the mic, then go for the slam. You can't slow me down. Talk about stop me. The best that you can do is try to copy the rhythm of the stylist rapper on the wild pitch. Label up able to bust a fat cable. Kids can't cope. You call it a rope. Looking straight in my face, yet the image is kaleidoscope. Due to the drugs you're taking, your brain is baking. Stop and take note of the mistakes you're making. Raking the floor for a pebble. Calling me brother, but you're not on my level. I'm too much in effect, too much self-respect. I'm too live to ever drive my life to a wreck. I break necks, cash checks, have sex and plex. Do a battle in a flash, then ask who's next. I'm a survivor kicking liver than a Memorex. Stomping out competition like Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm master educating, you masturbating. Traps for weak raps, you need to be slapped, you suck. Turning your kegel in your baseball cap. From now on, wear a beanie. Stop chasing the genie. I'd rather chase a cutie in a teeny bikini. Sip martinis on the rocks to keep it cold. Then chase it down with a quarter-old gold. The chill will fill you with the weapon of wisdom. I master creation, never plagiarism. All for me a blast, you must be joking. Let my posse find out, your butt'll really be smoking. This cat is courageous, outrageous, contagious. Most DJs say they can't wait to play this on a plate or platter made from wax. You wanna hear me chit chatter, then pay the tax. Even on cassette I make suckers sweat. And the whacked are afraid of me, cause I'm a threat. Yes, you're all wet, caught up in my net, but I'll let you go. There's no need to fret, it's time to rewind. So go ahead, flick the switch, it's back. Catch it, wild pitch.
Say, hey boy, hey boy, hey boy, hey boy, we not here,
See, I'm the art you are living, so take heed to the knowledge that I'm giving, and you will be uprisen upon your highest point of achievement. You will receive this loud and clear, and I mean this is a warning or precaution. Proceed with caution. I'm so manipulative, I'll use distortion and twist out the normal shape or natural. I'm writing exact, my facts are actual. I make it freeze, seize, withstand, man. Lock them up and chop them up just like Mr. Handman. With negative brothers and suckers, yeah, I've dealt with. I won more championships than a Celtics. Got a feeling for rap the first time I felt this. I got me a pad of paper and a felt tip. And started going to work with rhymes and words. I'm not a joke, a jerk, got no time for nerves. I got the time around making money and things. You wanna taste the honey, girl, give me a ring. Cause I'm a father, I'll fill you with the cream of life is right, cause I'm an original being. I'm very militant, prepared for the holy cause. Are you the same? If not, take a total loss. You keep listening, you will be uprisen. From the grave of a slave, I'm an art you are living. Pushing rhymes of a heavyweight, yours a middleweight. It ain't my fault you came to the party just a little late. You lost the turn to rock, now it's your turn to jock a real rap professional. Burn my block down, cause I'm a lyrical prophet, prophesizing mine. Little rhetorics is hardcore and asking by. Give a damn, oh man, about what you wanna do. Cause I'ma tell you right now what I'm gonna do. Take 120 ducks, 120 suckers, 120 more blind, deaf and dumb brothers, fake MCs, wannabes, yeah, that's good and plenty of them. And now the mile is over 360 of them. The number of blind brothers used to multiply. They were fed the wrong food, to loads of lies. Now it's decreasing cause I'm unleashing my knowledge of self. I'm holding my belt and I'm teaching those that need to be taught and brought up into a square of pure righteousness and get caught up with the lessons they're blessing to keep you from guessing all praises. Or due to Allah, you get the message, cause I'm a provider of lyrical torture. I absorb lyrics like a sponge with water. To me, knowledge is food like digging smacks, so I'ma dig in. Keep listening to the art you are living.
Kane UK, we speak through the music.
It's time for another rap prodigy of lyrics with a 20. I'd have the 9 of these filling my pockets to the rim like grim. Don't let the lack of muscle fool you, I ain't hardly slim. There's a capable of attacking your nervous system that responds to the stimuli when I transmit it through an audio implement. Wisdom is infinite. Too cool posse is the next black syndicate. Begging and frosted for affirmative action. Do you wanna get hyped? Just start clapping to the bounce of talent sequence for one purpose, that the money you pay for the show is quite worth it when the bass lays the place, pain starts peeling. Like on a Ouija, you be dancing on the ceiling. Code going A to the tape without a debate. We're on the rhyme one more time till you can translate. Waited a break into a formative routine. Pressing ideas and make it smile like Dentine. When I'm on stage, I'm thinking like Lincoln. Beat is so funky, it starts stinging with the power. Declaring illogical membrane. With lyrics from my book like I said, I'm gonna remain. And this ain't spot till hell freezes over. I stand around like a militant soldier, protecting the vines of those who wanna stand upright. They yell till the rafters break. Do you wanna get high? Making sounds for a stage show. Won't give a sample till I say so. I determine what's going to be written. If the drums ain't thumping, it ain't hitting. Cause I want to feel the bass drum smack the floor. Ricochet, hit the walls, come back. Strong like a permanent crease, cause it'll never cease. Sit down and score this one for the marquee. I'm not a bitch throwing you a curve and no way that you can dodge it. Cause I'm a hit a nerve with the track of drum. Put away that drum, cause when it crackle like a 40, you're gonna wanna taste something, change your system. When hype beats rule ya, like in Cobra, don't let the smooth taste fool ya. Cause I'm gonna change up, rearrange and make up a different style and take it to you straight up. But need I dwell on those who try to refuse it. No need for breeding brag when time speaks in my music. Once again, I journey back in the old school. Grab a book in the uptown and I'll show you a brother. Tapping it hard Marquis in a Dooku posse, bringing it to ya. Yes, we're gonna soothe ya with something funky that I know is gonna move ya. Do you wanna get hype? Well, I do it right, love. I get hype. Well, I do it right, love. I get hype. Well, I do it right, love. I get hype. Well, I do it right. Take a minute and let the rhythm pulsate into your ear with a technique. I'll let it rotate back and forth, up and down in your brain cell with a message that makes you yell. To the question, I need a normal crowd's response to see who is with it, who wants to front. I'll slap you with the slogan, the posse is talented. Grip a mic so hard at the jam, I get calluses from continuously hyping up the party scene. Like Gillette, I keep the cuts close and clean. For one reason that you can't get enough of me, Marquis. I'm so smooth, I make sway for rough. When the party needs to be rectified, of all the scrapping seeds, when the drums are live, the bits rhymes like dice at a casino. I'm Marino, Uno Supremo. Throwing my boy 40 yards and just stand still. When you catch it, I'm casually chill. We don't stumble or fumble when things are well executed. I'll flow like vodka, strong and undiluted when the DJ's blending. You're recommending some type of breakdown when the lyrics are ending. But don't let the break in, cause I'm making the doors open for me, so I can come and take it to the level of control. We're riding on the tempo, gets wild as a buck mule when I let the beat go. Into the crowd, pump up the bass, so a sound check. If you a dancer, no need to half step. Hook up the mic and let's get straight to the topic. When you grab it mentally, you have logic to detect the rhyme. It sounds good, time after time. It keeps you feeling for another line that's better than the first one. The black first one's writing the material that you've been first in the wet to whistle. Other rappers fizzle, make songs in the masterpiece like sculptors with chisel, chipping away at the irrelevant pieces till you come to perfection and your pride increases. From trying to enlight the light that bright, here's one solution. Do you wanna get hype? I get hype. Tell me, do you wanna get hype? I get hype. Well, I do it right, love. I get hype. Well, I do it right, love. I get hype. Well, I do it right, love. Yo, what's up? Before we end this, I like to say peace to Marley Marl and Magic. Tuck, chill out, red alert. Yo, we can't forget Lady B and Mimi. Yo, and I can't forget my homeboys who helped produce me. The partners in rhyme, Gino G, Reggie Red, Tony Tone, my producer. Can't forget Iceman, the one and only. Yo, Too Cool Posse and Marquis is out of here. Signing off. Yo, we like to send this out to Northside Posse. Long way we live, my brothers. Peace.
C for forever, yeah. Right now, I'm out of England, fresh out of Ghana, listening to the Pioneers of Hip Hop show on the Kane FM with a man like Whirlwind D and a man like DJ Miracles Kane.
Kane FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show. If you just joined us, we find ourselves in the late 80s. Before we move on with the story, I gotta say a massive shout out to my homeboys Miracle and Jazz T. Check out the Boot Records show on Kane FM every 2 weeks, 9 to 11 on a Wednesday evening. If you're not sure which one it is, check out the Kane calendar on the website and you can find out when those shows are. The Pioneers show, of course, runs once a month on a Monday 9 to 11. It's roughly every 4 weeks, but well worth checking out the Kane schedule so you know when the show is on. Just a reminder also, you can catch our previous shows on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel as well as the Kane FM Mixcloud. We've got shows covering all aspects of the genre, from the UK to the US to different labels, different artists, different times and periods. So well worth checking those out. Big shout out to everybody who has subscribed and messages on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel. It's lovely to get those messages and to interact as you are listening to or have listened to the show. So big shout out to all the YouTube heads. Okay, let's get back into the story. And the first cut you heard, we hyped the set with Jersey City artist Chill Rob G. Now, he had secured a deal through a freestyle, allegedly at the 45 King's house. Now, the 45 King himself, although originally from Queens, New York, had moved to Irvington, New Jersey and started to build a collective, which of course included Newark's First Lady Queen Latifah and other New Jersey artists such as Lakim Shabazz. Now, in fact, it was another Flavor Unit member, Lati, who had introduced Chill Rob G to the 45 King and of course suggested he'd gone round to his house for a freestyle session. Now, the track in question that we played was an early Wild Pitch release by the same name of the label, and it appeared on his debut, the Dope Rhymes single in 1988. The track we played, of course, was Wild Pitch. Love that cut. Of course, Chill Rob G is still busy doing stuff to the present day. Big shout out to Chill Rob G and all the associated artists. We then moved to All True and Living by Lakim Shabazz, who was also part of the Flavor Unit and produced by the 45 King. Now, much like King's son, who we heard earlier on in the show, Lakim Shabazz was one of the earliest politically conscious MCs and recorded for Aaron Fuchs' Tough City label, along with a number of the rest of the Flavor Unit. Now, whilst the 45 King was building his rep with his crew, another crew was starting to form, coalescing around Tony D in Trenton, and we touched on this story earlier on. Now, Trenton by now had a number of record labels. The next track you heard was by the Too Cool Posse, and it initially appeared on Diversity Records, which was a Trenton label, before being picked up by Profile. I deliberately let that one play out through the shouts. I love those shouts at the end of the record. You'll have heard him shouting out the Northside Posse. That'll come up later on in the show. Now, Diversity Records was actually co-owned by YZ, and as well as releasing this single, it would also release YZ's material himself. Now, sadly, one of the rappers from Too Cool Posse ended up in trouble with the law, and I believe is currently incarcerated. Now, up next, we're going to stick with Trenton and Diversity Records and a classic underground EP by YZ and G Rock.
I got a plan, some sort of strategy. Hold my calls and get in touch with ESD. Give them the message, give them a red alert. Tell them I need them, tell them it's time to work. Tell them I'm home, thinking of my profits. Going out in the world to teach knowledge to the brothers and sisters that don't know about the mother, about the right way to go. Stop them from selling out. Teach them what pride is all about. Go out and tell them it's time to take a stand. YZ is working, thinking of a master plan. I'm thinking of a master plan. YZ is thinking of a master plan. I'm thinking of a master plan. Back again to explain what I expressed just a second ago. Cause you still don't know, at least you don't act like you do. And if you do, what am I gonna do with you? Here's my shoe, put your foot in it. But see what I'm seeing, black power in the realm and the government's disagreeing. They can't see it cause they're moving too fast and they can't last. Cause they just had a blast, not of the past but of cocaine. They keep shipping it, an addict takes a cigarette and keeps dipping it, smoking, token. Hey, I don't play that, I'm frowning while Mr. Reagan kept clowning. Time for a change and I mean a revolution. Open your eyes, a black president solution. Right in your face, yo, when you still don't see it. Yo, that's the way it's gonna be. And I agree, before the bomb comes down, you gotta stand your ground and stop pulling your own kind down. You need to stop clowning. So I'ma raise my hand for power. YZ is thinking of a master plan. I'm thinking of a master plan. YZ is thinking of a master plan. 44 with a direct impact that can break down a door. Now why don't you think that I can break down the law? If the law's corrupt as the president I saw, you learn to trust him. I don't even know why I feel disgusted every time that I feel I lost a brother to the other man. He's lost in color. All the cocaine drug scam, a plan devised by the government to keep a brother down. So I'm shoving it up the ass that it came from. We're number one, so you better stay away from the sons of the father, coming from original land of the mother. I'm thinking of a master plan. YZ is thinking of a master plan. I'm thinking of a master plan. Yo, 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 check this out. That false prophet over there better start thinking about his people instead of always thinking about himself. People, you better go outside and see what's going on in front of your own door. The government can't do anything that you can't do for yourself. They only go as far as you let them go. So think of a plan of your own and be free again. And if you don't, well, you're just a modern day slave. And I would hate to see that for you, brothers and sisters. Peace. I'm out of here.
103.7 Kane FM.
Yo, YZ, man. It is true that you're in control of things, is it not, my brother?
Oh, definitely true.
Yo, so why are these Tom, Dick, and Knuckle bump skis, doopy doodle, dookie diarrhea, stankin' weak ass ducks wanna rhyme to the beat, man?
I don't know, brother. I think it's time we did something about that.
Oh, let's do it.
Alright. I'm in control of things, the ruler of the cycle, power of a rifle, ruin my disciple. ESD posse made up of prophets. You tried to mock this, so now I have to stop this. Outrage of unrested biters, on me like spiders, cause I'm at my apex. What beat will you lay next? These are the questions you ask. I laugh in the dish, you'll get next. Thinking you could get away with stealing my beat, cause I'm not from your street or your avenue. Who in the hell do you think you are? A star like me, YZ, no you're not. So stop. Big Daddy Kane stole it, like him Shabazz stole it. Gang Star stole the whole in control rhythm. Who's next to do it? I'm a diss. Who in the hell ever steps out? Break your neck. Pepe Le Pew, you stink, sinking in quicksand. I stand with men who do planning in my in control rhythm.
Word. Yo, is it my turn?
Tone.
Yo, can the beat maker bust a rap?
Let's do this, Tone.
Check this out.
1, 2.
Beats like this, a flavor and taste like the salt in the tear running down your face. Since back in the day, I've been making hype music. The talent we have, they try to use it in the wrong way. They try to take advantage of people who are down with them. They put themselves above them, myself, and many others. Then they wonder why they're not respected by the brothers in New York.
Word.
And stab them with a fork. You swine and dine and fine and wine and dine with a pork fork. Word, you suck a duck. I'm gonna grab the microphone and choke your neck in a stranglehold like a man YZ said. We're in control like the Marley Marl show. You blow, you can't go with the master blaster faster. Like my man Jimmy Castor. Or the dope rhythm giving them hypes-ish. Tearing the road up like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Your sister suck my dick till her face turn blue. Like this, y'all. Like that, y'all. Your mom suck my dick when it's fat, y'all. Boy, who you wanna up with? Yo, we ain't looking for no play, you know what I'm saying? We getting a message across.
Word.
I gotta pop one more. Can I pop one more?
Do this.
There's the gun, they're off. Guess who's in the lead? Another chapter to adapt to exactly what you need. When the mic's in my hand, it's like a rubber on a Jimmy. Competitions, just another gimme. Forget it, your guard is to the left, not the right guard. Cause you bite hard, now the scene is fight marred. And guess who's winning in? Cause you're a feminine sissy, a snake without any venom in. And whatever in, I'm too clever in. Here's a vitamin beats, I like to make them in my spare time. Don't try to compare mine to a sucker. They're incomparable and variable, and quite selectable. To your taste buds, they're delectable, but not collectible. So select a fool, and I'll bet you'll get 100% pure vegetable, like an onion or an avocado. Here's my motto: don't play lotto. Shazam, Shizuki, samurai suckers are weak, and I'll be damned if I ever would spit on
on a microphone. When you come to my party, leave your hype at home. Cause you gotta be positive. Cause what you got to give is a lot on the spot. So get off the rhythm.
Get off my rhythm.
Boy, straight out, flat out, telling it to your
Kane 103.7 FM.
At this time, I have the honor to present to you the moral leader of our nation.
Self-lord in my pen, once again sitting here at the tier of thought, meditating on the hip, cause the hip must hop. As I drop my style, I let the lessons be taught. Praises are due to the arm, leg, on the head, to a law if you're mentally dead. But if you're self-wise to the knowledge of self, then you may comprehend the great truth that I said. Knowledge is the base of all life within a cipher, or the first step towards the righteous rhyme. Knowledge is the weight upon a black man's brain, or his third eye, which is known as the mind. As I proceed to get paid, I go on. The Islamic thought might bust this mic. The poor righteous teacher's gonna teach them all. Cause I self-lord be scarred my birthright. Thinking up the thoughts that I thought could teach. Divine getting paid on the two techniques. The poor righteous teacher's posse's large. Rolling to the wise, think it's time to say peace. With step 2 and I flow, the poor righteous teacher's gonna drop y'all smooth. As I step with my rep, I let the intellect flow to show and prove. Oh yes, I'm God and I must make born one of them snakes that they can't stop me. The wise is always commenced to teach, and I'm up with the tribe called PRT. Hit it, knowledge plus knowledge equals 2. What are we gonna do? Culture, let the wise come through. On 2.
Wise, you gonna teach them?
True.
On you.
Culture, but the count is on 2.
But 1, 2.
Let me on the set I get. Teaching them with my intellect, they sweat. Trying to get the things that the wise want pressed. The butt naked, booty blessed when undressed. This style I manifest or test. Till like rock my project complex. And the wise won't cease. The gods don't stop until it's time to say peace. Self-lord in my crew, coming through, gotta teach what we taught to each other. Swearing on my crown that I'll down any clown. Lawful and found around a town of any suckers. Taking what was needed from the things that I was taught. Now I teach as I reach on my brothers in the ghetto. Listen as I speak to the weak, I gotta teach. Those that fell a victim, circumstances had to let them. Wise is on the top of every beat that I may play on. Stay on every single groove within the wax. The poor righteous teachers, posse's fat. I dare a sucker state that we consist of new jacks. People look at us and say that we consist of teachers. Violence not a part of what we live to manifest. And anyone who states that we are violent is a snake, or he has just been puffing on us before Buddha bless. Listen to the king as I sing upon streets, teaching with my speech. So learn a lesson as I speak, I'm unique. And the wise won't cease. The gods don't stop until it's time to say peace. Coming again with step 4 and it's dope. Some of you may hope that I might even slip upon a note, but I won't. I will only quote what the ink spilled and wrote. As smooth as it floats. Note that every time I grab the mic, I feel like there's no stopping. I'm godly hip-hopping, dropping what I have to call the dope and daily mathematics. Yo, how many of us have it? I self-lord and many other brothers. Unseen to the scene of being sore. Let your brain cells unthaw. I'm God. I say Allah, you Akbar, then pause. Got to give a shout out to the posse that I feature. Peace, poor righteous teacher. Who I must say, peace to the queen, Shakila. We in this.
Internationally known to Romeo Zone. This is Music G repping the Underground Army. You're now tuned in to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show with Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Nobody could do it better.
Welcome back to Kane 103.7 FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show, and tonight is all about New Jersey. We find ourselves in 1989, and as usual on these shows, we are focusing on the music side of the hip hop culture. So let's get back to the Trenton story. Having produced YZ's debut, I Am Who I Am, which we played earlier on in the show, YZ and Tony D had by now forged a close partnership, Two Tone Productions. Now, the first record we heard was The Brilliant Thinking of Master Plan, and that came out initially on YZ's co-owned label Diversity before being picked up by Tough City and, of course, going out to a much broader audience. Now, Thinking of a Master Plan was produced by Tony D, which I have to add at this point, Tony D is often confused in the late 80s with Grand Wizard Tony D, who of course was known for his work with the Jungle Brothers, MC Search and Idlers Records. This is a different Tony D. Now, this Tony D was quickly becoming the linchpin to the Trenton scene. And at this point I want to pause for the cause for a moment because very, very sadly Tony D passed away a few years ago, and so tonight's show is very much dedicated to the memory of Tony D. He was known not only for production, emceeing, as we'll see later on, and of course in recent years unearthing lots of rare rap gems. So Tony D, rest in peace. We then moved into Tony D's debut album, which was by and large an instrumental album. However, it contained a couple of vocal tracks, one by YZ, or one featuring YZ, and the other featuring the Too Cool Posse, both of course Diversity recording artists. Now, we played the track Get Off That Rhythm, which featured YZ, and I played it because in many ways it sums up the stories that surrounded this album. This album of course is fairly collectible in these days market because it appeared on Tony D's indie label Sure Shot Records, and the album was famously sampled by Naughty by Nature, fellow New Jersey artists, for their hit OPP. More on them later. Now, other artists also plundered the album, and so the YZ track really sums up how they felt at the time. Interestingly though, if you look on the back of the cover, it kind of encourages artists to sample the beats on the album. Now, by 1989, things had started to get a little messy with contracts, and Tony D and YZ had started to diverge in their thinking. Now, the story goes that Tony D met a New Jersey rapper called Wise Intelligent, and they put together a demo under the name Poor Righteous Teachers, which, so it's said, YZ had signed a contract to put out on Diversity. Now, according to Tony D and Wise, this was all taking too long because YZ was focusing on his own releases in Control at the time, and so they approached a different New Jersey label, Northside, note that from earlier on, and as a result, YZ and Tony D wouldn't see eye to eye after this. However, it's interesting because at the same time, Tony D was producing YZ and Poor Righteous Teachers, so it's interesting how the wires crossed in many ways. Now, Red Alert loved Time to Say Peace, and fairly soon Poor Righteous Teachers got themselves a deal with Profile, and this record that, like I say, originally came out on Northside and is very collectible these days, was re-recorded. Now, we played the original version from Northside, which is slightly different to the version that got a release on Profile later on. So we find ourselves in 1989, and a new supergroup were about to be born in New Jersey.
There are three basic elements essential to life: solids, liquids, and gases. But all scientists forgot about the fourth. Scratch Classy KG, tell them, what is that fourth element?
It's the new style!
Stepping on my midnight stroll. The squad father, infamous daddy you can't hold, coming from the midst of the soul. Yeah, granted, this is the hip-hop black hole, coming deep, you swear the beat started. There's your boys bum rush and bombarded, getting got, you miss, yo, never this smack. Now cats fight like Pegasus, here's the crew, yo, dare the duo, throw on my hoodie, Woody, your soul like Sam Goody, packing jam so crowded it's combustible, stop it ain't rushable, and don't touch it, tell me in a beat, a complete, and can please those million MCs struggling, cold scuffing those knees. knees, those knees, those knees.
It's the new style. It's the new style.
There's needs, wants, breeds, fronts, we need some calm.
Yeah.
Vinny Rock is real bluff, scuffing those knees. I get up, another one bites the dust, scuff luck. Oops, I apologize, I'm in tough luck. I'm down to the dollar, I never was up, scuffing, no begging, no bluffing. It's bussin', all I do, they know when the rock's coming. Stride like a thoroughbred, I ain't joking. I've been borrowing since start smoking. The DJ please to think I need the lion. As the poo butts crying and retiring. Both were better, cause the boys were suffering.
It ain't nothing rougher than scuffling those knees, knees, knees.
It's the new style. It's the new style. New style.
In full gear, paid in full, yeah. All of that plus more. There's peer mix of lyrics hid in laboratories, after laboratories. Yo, here's the beer reflecting like a mirror. I'm clearer than a crystal or a missile that's from the scufflers that's scuffling. I'm rougher than any. I had enough of them. Yo, bustin' in.
Vin is on the same side, also strolling, sticking 3 fingers and you don't mind bowling. Strike, that's the second one. In a row, I know, yo, I'm wrecking, I'm down to drag 'em. Knees are sparking, mags the magnums, get my back, I'm starting. That's right, all night, I'm psyched and I'ma finish it. Thought I just popped in your face?
No,
I've been in it.
Just as we sleeping, sneaking little peeks in.
Smack again?
Wake the hell up when I'm speaking. Let's see how musty he is now. Lucky me, I ain't the one with the worn out dusty knee. Yo, stop scuffing those knees, knee, knee.
It's the new style.
You're listening to the sounds of Kane 103.7 FM.
Uniques return like a boomerang, shooting down clowns from each and every town like a shooting range. The pain's too much for your brain, take Novocaine. Here's a special edition for your feather brain. Save your breath, knock it off, time to pass off. For a harmonium, holocaust blast off. Skills to kill in the battlefield, thrills like a Ferris wheel. But the fold is a minefield, prepare for those that repeat me like an echo. Defeat unique, the elite, man heck no. Button your lips, get a grip, save the bullshit, cause I'm a Terminator, you're the opposite. Unique's a hardcore composer, strong as a bulldozer. You're soft like a sofa, lyrics are killing like a vet when I manifest. Fast like a flick of an ass, I'm a cigarette. Such a delight to copy and bite. Try to recite what I write, but the rhymes I design are pure dynamite. Hardcore lyrics combined with a bass line, a real smooth beat so suckers can't counter mine. Don't even think about a war, I'm pure for sure. Man eating like a carnivore or a cannibal, cause my style's intangible. This ain't the A-team, I ain't Hannibal, but I'm ready and hostile. Attack with the freestyle, check while I wreck the next style. Back up, Unique's the type that won't slack up. All the sucker MCs get hacked up, cause I'll brutalize with the rhymes that I utilize. Step in the way you get polarized, cause I'll terminate enemies that perpetrate. I take the mic, then exterminate. Such a delight, copy and bite. Try to recite what I write, but the rhymes I design are pure dynamite. Ready for war, so therefore I'm keeping the crowd in an uproar. Killings and far from the intro. My lyrics are sinful, they're going and flowing with the tempo. Tearing and ripping at brains as I entertain. Nothing remains but blood stains and membrane. Puddles of blood on the ground as I turn around. Beating you down to the ground like a hellhound. Horrible warfare controls the air like a nightmare. The Legion of Doom won't fight fair. Rip up nightclubs, rhymes hit your heart like a billy club. Eat up scrubs like a sub. Unique slaying and laying out ducks, so keep praying. Unique ain't playing, step back cause I'm spraying. Such delights, copy and bite. Try to recite what I write, but the rhymes I design are pure dynamite. Bubblegum rappers, young whippersnappers, don't step to this, cause Unique's too treacherous. Eating competitors, up like a predator. A plan of attack on the whack rap editor. Save the handicapped raps and take a long nap. When I snap, my brain's like a rap trap. Foes are wiped out, erased like whiteout. I won't take a break or take them right out. Suckers are bumped off, knocked off, treated like a bad call. Step out of line, get jumped off. I write rhymes that'll outshine the average battle rhyme. Try to bite a rhyme, it's wartime. Enemies face the rage of a nutcase. 22's the age and North's the birthplace. Chumps that wanna make a name, remember slaying's the game. If you come for the battle, you're sorry you came. I'm such delight, copy and bite. You try to recite what I write, but my rhymes are pure dynamite.
Kane FM.
Bust it. What part you don't understand? It's Sugar Ray, just ripping the sound correct, rough and right. When I'm in effect, pack it up and step, or get blessed by a raw perspective of me bringing noise most effectively. And I bet you agree when I demonstrate a talent in the dopest state, big to penetrate your crew with something kind of deaf for the dance to. In other words, a hand you son, then surrender it done. Declared and sealed to show I handle it. Nightly in the mix at my rest, near a candle lit. Excitement is how I drip, but that's irrelevant. Sugar storm trooping just for the hell of it. And yo, the move to test me's a bad move. Cause due to the fact I'm stacked, non-believers get bruised. For doubting swift to come up with a winner in a no-win sit and commit the opposition. Stuck on wishing upon a microphone. Listen, abort your mission before your backbone breaks. Decapitates from this intake rate. Of course, I'm like Rankin, let's get it straight. I coordinate to get paid. I'm a record played within the meaning relayed as a ready-made hit. That's a condition to strip whoever's opposite. Take notice and slip or your soul will be ripped. While I write songs for the survey, cause I'm like holding to knock 'em out, Sugar Ray. Strangers on the mix of the master of drum beat. The Sugar Ray's blowing the heat that will teach you ducks how to create, shake and bake and pass off when you make a mistake. So I can step to it and properly do it with fluid, displaying a deadly force and run through it in my depth. Dismissing the rookies who sidestep instead of what you do and go and get a new concept. Tailor-made to connect plus improve a bona fide groove, dropping oh so smooth. Molly and Red Alert, they do much work and watch while the next man hurts 100 feet from me. Your Majesty and rap therapy, deep in the third degree, and I'll never be front. You can't get nothing but a corner to keep you from sleeping, so brother, you better off me quick, or you'll become the victim of rap stick. For standing on the hip-hop stage when I was sporting it. The freestyle, strict and picture perfect. To put it plain simple, I'ma put it on your back. And I won't lack upon impact, handing out the hard-head tracks to the whack new jack. Take a seat and relax while my DJ superbly debuts in a definite way. When I parlay, so you say the posse's on point to knock 'em out, Sugar Ray. Rapping was the source of the show from the intro. Selected by a trooper, nominating me to go off and embarrass the soft as an educator. Performers on a part-time path and then separate great From Johnny come late, now knowledge that those who went to rough with the fate got a date with that blessing that I'm addressing, symbolizing I'm good. Cause even though you know you can't, you're hoping you could. Commemorate Sugar Ray every day. Rolling with the double X posse, all the way live. Redirecting this pace in overdrive. And if you can't hang with this one high, take 5 to look at yourself and how you match up. But don't be a critic, cause critics never catch up to me or how I bust, but I guarantee your satisfaction filled up, then you'll be jammed. Participating with the band as a rap fan and fully understanding the mystery of my game plan to erase, elevate, then educate 85% of the house into a heavyweight class. Making much cash with an executive smash. On course for first, on the strip I'll pass. Cause I love to whoop ass like a gentleman. Then proceed to punish, cause it ain't no thing for me to grab a microphone and start waxing. Each and every day, yeah, I knock 'em out, Sugar Ray,
These beats are hitting the streets, peeps. A sheep sleep I've written in heaps deep. Creep, leap to grab him and curse. Look at him and thirst. Like Adam and his madam, I had him first. Word search the greed that I seed and needed. Breed, need and lead him to freedom, bleeding. Heathens are sipping, trip your grip slipping. Rip the hits bitten by lips when it's written. I run towns where nuns lounge, lunge nouns and plunge clowns, deep into depression like grunge sounds. I won crowns where some rounds have come to sundown and unwound, unbound venom and unfrowned. Some found I'm vexed within. Text to spin, then I skin your next to kin. Let's begin, I sussed your thug lust, and plus I slug dust like a crush in a drug bust. Hark the start proof, I knock the sharp tooth, shark you from park truth, spark your dark booth. Your vision's lit when I spit the precision of it. Grit, collision, and hit. Now your decision is split. Crammer zone, home grammar and jam alone. Slam a tone that's known in a manner to gramophones. Stop crying cause you're trying to hear flows. De-exposed pros on the Pioneer shows. Yeah, this is Cell 1 from the Gutter Snipes. Check it out, Whirlwind D, Kane FM. Shock it, rock it in the pocket. Tick tock it, shake it, pop lock it. Now you hear the flow. Check the Pioneer show with Whirlwind D as he drop it.
Kane FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show. Tonight has all been about New Jersey, an incredible scene, an incredibly influential scene. So we're just going to round off the story before we move into our brand new music. So the first track you heard in that volley of cuts was Scuffing Those Knees by The New Style. Now at this point, we're coming almost full circle, because The New Style were a crew signed by Sylvia Robinson to her relatively new imprint Bon Ami in the wake of Sugarhill's demise. Now The New Style quickly garnered a deal with MCA and released their debut Independent Leaders. Now that album itself, it kind of sunk really. It didn't have the impact they had hoped, although I actually listened to it now, it's a great album. But the skill of the crew shone through, and they would be reborn on the Tommy label as the mighty Naughty by Nature. And of course, the rest is history. After that, we played Pure Dynamite by Unique, one of only 2 singles that he released at the time. Now, like The New Style, Unique was part of Sylvia Robinson's new label plans, and this 12-inch came out on New Day Records, which was another offshoot of hers, the same label that Melly Mel's album of that same year came out on. Now, interestingly, the flip side, Axe Maniac, which I didn't play, was produced by KG of The New Style, aka Naughty by Nature. So some really interesting links there. And there's actually a full Unique album out there which never got released. I'm crossing my fingers that one day it receives a full vinyl reissue. Needs to happen. Now for our final cut, we travel to another New Jersey artist debut, this time MC Sugar Ray, who would of course resurface a year later as part of the Double X posse. So MC Sugar Ray alongside Stranger D recorded this particular track, Knock 'Em Out Sugar Ray, and it came out on Def City, which was one of the New Jersey labels at the time. And by 1989, New Jersey indeed had a plethora of labels and artists and was enjoying the success of its neighbours in New York City and of course Philadelphia. Now our story really ends at this point because we're just covering the 80s, as I said earlier. But the success of New Jersey would continue to grow right through the 90s to the present day via artists such as the aforementioned Naughty by Nature, the Fugees, Redman, Artifacts and many, many more. So New Jersey had an incredible impact. So we find ourselves at the end of the show and I've got 4 tracks that I want to play now. First up, brand new flavour out on Beeline Recordings. Big up to my Beeline fam. It's Crease featuring Chrome with Anything You Want. From there we're going to move to a brand new track from the incredible Lewis Parker album. This track is called Cash Money. From there my man Kashmere and Soul Calibur. You can catch that on the Kashmere Bandcamp. And finally we've got my man MC Oliver Twist and Tales from the Dark Side, produced by Franky with cuts by my man Specifik. So 4 brilliant brand new tracks. We'll be back in a month's time. Check out the Kane FM website to see when the next show is on a Monday 9 to 11 p.m. The Pioneers Hip Hop Show. Big thank you for listening this evening. I leave you with brand new flavour from my man Crease featuring Chrome, Anything You Want.
What you need here right up front, you get. Make your neck snap, feel the rhythm of the funk we give you. Whether you're riding in your car, in the bar with the bump, you'll get. So let's just turn the volume up, make you jump, you can really have. Ayo, Specifik gives a slice, I get nice. While I feast on this beat, I eat it up like chicken and rice. It's a hip-hop hit that's got me quick to produce something that's slick. Chrome is a perfect fit. I repeat upon the daily, play me on the radio. Turntable and stereo in your headphones, so here we go with the flow. Didn't you know I got lyrics to go? The miracle flow with the clinical dope delivery. Folks hearing me throw my bad to rap from the east to the west. Yes, it's the best funky connection. Injection of this section gives it the right direction. Follow the line and see yourself in a better place. Just surround yourself with positives, life will give you a straight flush. You can make your royal just setting up the goal, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel gives them purpose of my being. Here up on this rock, make the best of what I got. Try to test it with the freshness and you don't stop. So can you feel the temperature rising? It's heating up, ayo, it's heating up. The beat is hot, it's not surprising. We keep it hot, ayo, we keep it hot. Can you feel the temperature rising? It's heating up, ayo, it's heating up. The beat is hot, it's not surprising. We keep it hot, we got what you need here right up front, you get. Make your neck snap, feel the rhythm of the funk we give you. Whether you're riding in your car, in the bar with the bump, you'll get. So let's just turn the volume up, make you jump, you can really have. Trillion lines written for killing a mind. Walking up this hill with these boots, I'm still in them time to lace up, tighten up, lighten up the place. Start a fire with this mic, never retire from this race. I write a line a day for the rest of my life. I'm like a rhyme away from making it right. Like Tribe, I find a way with lyrics to go. I get a microphone checked and I'm ready to flow. I'm from the days of 808s and scratching in a drum break. Move it up like that on a 4-track in one take. Pause button mixes, use a bit to fix this. Tangled up cassette, no sweat, let me twist this until I get it back in the deck. It's like war, but it still bangs out the box. The beat rocks, of course. A force so powerful, intense, make you get hot. The beat that rocks consistently make your head nod. So can you feel the temperature rising? It's heating up, ayo, it's heating up. The beat is hot, it's not surprising. We keep it hot, ayo, we keep it hot. Can you feel the temperature rising? It's heating up, ayo, it's heating up. The beat is hot, it's not surprising. We keep it hot, we got what you need here right up front, you get. Make your neck snap, feel the rhythm of the funk we give you.
Kane FM.
Out like this. Come on, come on. Yeah, I show and prove that you duns make your dumb moves. Brothers know the deal when I get ill with funk grooves. I rock jams freshly. Females say it's sexy. Rappers try to test me, come up short like Joe Pesci. Fuck beats are super bad, rugged like Tim's in a do-rag. I make classics, you sound like rap's new fad. It's too bad that these major artists pushing poison. I would against it just by bringing the poison. But I still respect it, cause brothers in the hood need some kind of exit. See, times get hectic. If it ain't one thing, son, it's always the other. Didn't use a rubber, now got a baby mother. And certain females are tripping, they store the nigga roof the living. So you gotta stay an undercover brother like Eddie Griffin. Caught up in the system, every day chasing currency. Till I smash jams and rock beats wonderfully. You duns never son of me, my joints on the next level in depth. My sound is a vessel of rhythmic healing and mental strength. You go to full length, but if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. It's all about cash money. It's all about getting money. It's all about cash money. It's all about getting money, getting paid. It's all about cash money. It's all about getting money, getting paid. Yo, this shit hit like a brick. I'm on my Michael Knight talking to the SP like Kid. Flip the groove mad sick. Your beat dudes ain't ish. With your weak ass drums and whack chops that don't fit. I slide back in the mix, cause I'm all about the studio. Cats can't comprehend the ill sound I'll be pursuing, yo. Used to spin 45s downtown at Julio's. I like smashing out hoes, blazing L's and watching movie shows. But yo, that shit we missed in time. Gotta strengthen the mind, get the music out, money right, so a brother can shine. Drop diamonds for the mind, I'm still rising like a phoenix. These whack rappers getting paid, but backstage they sucking penis. I'm lounging in the lab with Bill Funk like the leaders. It's a shame nowadays there's no real rap leaders. These rappers going Hollywood. For real, I'd rather stay on the low and sample soundtracks from Bollywood. It's all about cash money. It's all about getting money. It's all about cash money. It's all about getting money, getting paid. It's all about cash money. It's all about getting money, getting paid. Let's get it. It's all about cash money. It's all about getting money, getting paid.
Kane FM 103.7. This is your #1 radio station. Tune in and rip the knob off.
King Kashmere, Alex DeLarge.
Huh. Yeah. Alex. As the sun descends over the horizon, demons follow me into the shady side. Vaporize the 85s with the crazy vibes. They say it's all or nothing, but it's hard to move forward cause of all the rusting. Trying to feel something, it costed me an eyeball and it revealed nothing. Sometimes there ain't no explanations. That's life, but nothing could change its destinations. Battling demons on the new day in Sunnydale requires concentration like my youth playing Undertale. Idle thoughts make me think I'm going mental, got me feeling like Indiana Jones up in the temple. I shoot farther than the golden archer, there'll be no departure. A brother holds katanas in the holy armor. Until I find the secret treasure that's inside the vault. A ninja holds the mic like Zeus with the lightning bolts. They really wanna bring it to my soul, but no. They can try it, but never take control, so yeah. They really wanna bring it to my soul, but no. Yeah. Did I really want a part of this? My heart is in bits, staring into the dark abyss. Life's bitter mix, got me skinny dipping in the river Styx. Trying to swim upstream, I'm trying to give a shit. Is it this? Is it really what my spirit thinks? Are there a lot of missing links? I throw everything at it to understand, but the kitchen sink. It's the adventures of the Lizard King. I think it's time to activate the power cell, climbing out from hell, motivated by the house of hell. Hate and sabotage is bound to fail. I down the ale, the Asgardian dragon ship is out to sail. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like a saying, alien from the great yonder. Hook up the pay-per-view and bring the cameras in and begin. If demons are present, I'm gonna battle them, yo. They really wanna bring it to my soul, but no. They can try it, but never take control, so yeah. They really wanna bring it to my soul, but no.
Don't say nothing, homeboy, just listen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
Sounds like you got something inside you. You just gotta get out. I figure if people found out what they had inside them and how to get it out, there'd be a lot more happy people.
So you really think I could do it?
Sure, why not? What do I know? You're talking to a guy who lives in the sewers.
Come and check the tales from the dark side, moving over my side, jumping all the boards like a bizarre ride to Parasite. No sail, I hang glide, no in the nosedive, slipping around with a quickie, leave your tongue tied. Drumming like the Fall Guy, switch my metaphors a kick with my life flow stunts and evil like an evil kid. A crash land, a rap jam, I'm swinging the mic stand, breaking down the walls and all of them twist upon your program. I'm moving in like the single file of military, banging on the door, shaking up the industry, spun like a whirlwind. You brown bread mate, accelerate adrenaline, jumpstart your heart rate, speed you can't stop me. Without a stopwatch, you ride upon the track until my voice bucks your upside. Flow like Vesuvius, flows a lava spit, terrible tornado, people call me Mr. Thunder Kid. I'm flipping a weapon like a soldier from the underground, tales from the dark side. Put your mics down, put your mics down, put your mics down. Stories ripped from the page of life's oracle, manipulated, mutated every syllable. Velociraptor with a sharp claw, Franky raw, more horrible than horrorcore. Your DNA's getting cut for the transform. Battle demons like Minotaur of Voldemort, freeze like Medusa, turn to hardcore. Back to life like zombies from the Holocaust. Dr. Lecter, Fred West, they can't touch this. To the running man, I'm serving a killer here for breakfast. H2 flows dirty like the river Neme, check it. Split screen, my nightmares are like a daydream. Like container freight trains, you can't stop this. I'm heavy on the brain, all of a twist of rhyme psychologist. Mr. Twist, take a break from your mind strain. Quick to sit you down and make you analyze your own pain. You couldn't handle me, kid gloves abandon me. Strap me down with tow ropes and a mic cord to hang with me. Strangling mics like a tight grip with iron fist. DJ Specifik, wild like a tiger is. I still agitate, brain cells you captivate. Reanimate my brain cells at a rapid rate. I make you jump like you stepped on a landmine with this. Tales from the dark side abyss. Stories ripped from the page of life's oracle, manipulated, mutated every syllable. Velociraptor with a sharp claw, Franky raw, more horrible than horrorcore. Your DNA's getting cut for the transform. Battle demons like Minotaur of Voldemort, freeze like Medusa, turn to hardcore. Back to life like zombies from the Holocaust. DJ Specifik. Like tales from the crypt, dirty like your rhino, we want the real shit. Check it, I roll track zombie knots, play the undead and reactivate. My mind is sharper than your brain dead. You play dead, raise the mercury with fire flame. Strain the brain, drain the blood from your main vein. The sharp tongues are like a nightmare on Rap Street. Foes get to leave when I design a rhyme of concrete. With deep impact, dark to the core, smash floors, penetrate the earth like a meteor. Spit the venom like a pygmy with blowpipes. I'm underground like a riverman in sewer pipes. Strike the mic with
running through ya, swimming through the shit in the sewers. The first chapter in the Tales from the Dark Side, back from the dead, Oliver Twist, watch the ride. Stories ripped from the page of life's oracle, manipulated, mutated every syllable. Velociraptor with a sharp claw, Franky raw, more horrible than horrible. Your DNA's getting cut for the transform. Battle demons like Minotaur or Voldemort, freeze like Medusa, turn to hardcore. Back to life like zombies from the Holocaust. Holocaust, Holocaust.